Good morning. Thanks for coming to Whispers in the Moonlight. Happy Friday. Sorry I've been missing for a while. I am back in Layton, back in the city area, and I've been just cleaning out my old apartment, getting stuff taken care of, the loose odds and ends that need to be taken care of before finalizing the move out and then driving back to Monticello next week. So while I'm up here, I thought I'd show you a few places that I like to visit, and there is a botanical garden here in Kaysville where I am at this morning, and there is a scarecrow festival here which ends, I believe, today or tomorrow. So I want to go ahead and show you bits and pieces of that. And also for my children's story time, I didn't get a chance to do it on Wednesday like I usually do. Sorry about that. There was just so much stuff to do. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in somehow, either today or tomorrow. But I just want to show you what it looks like out here today, and we'll go ahead and start. So glad you're here. Thanks for coming. One moment. Let me just turn this around. Okay. So there's the beautiful mountains. The fall colors are starting to show up there. It is a bit cloudy and dewy. You know, there's some rain showers over there off in the far end. So how's everyone's week going? I hope it's going pretty good. I did have some coffee earlier. And here, the fall colors haven't really shown up yet. Where in Monticello, when I was out in the mountains last weekend with my husband, the trees were all in their autumn glory. And here it really hasn't started yet. But we'll take a look around anyway. I brought you here before in another video. Okay, this tree has some yellow starting to show. See the colors? It's like the tree was kissed by the sun. So many golden kisses all over the edge of the branches where the yellow leaves are. That's what it looks like to me when I see autumn. Kisses of the sun. And here's the pine that's growing a little bit bigger on this tree. These pine cones are different though. They're kind of small and like almond shaped. And sorry if it's busy. There's a road right over here. And there's a train that runs back behind there, so you'll hear train noises as well. I was telling my husband the other day, I miss him as well as I miss the new town we moved to, because it's so quiet there. It's out in the country. And the city is just pretty loud. I enjoyed the city. I've lived out here over 30 years. I've enjoyed my time out here in Layton and Salt Lake City. Murray, Mittville are the areas I've lived in out here. But I guess you change as you get older, because I'm 54 now. And I long for the days of simplicity, calm, and quiet. This is called a prairie fire crabapple tree. And it's pretty. And there's all kinds of trees in here. So many varieties. And I'm not sure if these trees are grown by the by the professors and students that work nearby here in the botanical garden area. Oh, look at this one. This one's like an orangey color. Not quite red. But there's clusters and clusters of these berries. I mean, those would look pretty if you plucked them and put them in a bowl with some autumn flowers and make an arrangement and just put it in your home somewhere. Maybe up by your bookshelf where you like reading, or right in front of you on the coffee table when you watch TV, or in your kitchen window, or on your kitchen counter somewhere as you make your coffee in the morning or your dinner, and you look at the pretty berries and flowers. That'd be nice. So we'll continue going this way. I really, really love autumn. Like, I love autumn so much. And it started from the time I was a little girl. I remember walking outside and I would love stepping on crunchy leaves. Is this the same tree? Oh, this tree is called the red barren crabapple. The red barren crabapple. And I'm not sure if these trees are seasonal, where the, like, I'm sure the leaves will change eventually, but these berries, oh, it just fell right off. Some of it's dried up. I better watch where I'm going. There's a lot of mud right there. A couple of years ago, I was walking through here, just doing a random evening walk. And look at this beautiful blue, looks like a spruce tree. This one is the blue Atlas cedar. Blue Atlas cedar, that's the name of this tree. And it looks like just a huge, beautiful pine tree or Christmas tree, right? Here's another one. There's all varieties of pine trees out here. And I'm not sure the name of this one, but it's shaped exactly like a Christmas tree. That is beautiful. Here's another one. This one is called the bristlecone pine. And it's like, those feather dusters, except it's pine cones. So as I was saying, I was walking through here, this exact spot, a couple of years ago, right here in the evening. And I'm just walking along, enjoying the trees and the cool weather. And right there, just right there, there was a nice shiny blue feather sticking straight up out of the ground, like it was waiting for me. And I looked at it and I did pick it up, and I just, I should have kept it. I usually keep feathers that I find. It was a beautiful feather. It was like stunning blue, almost shiny, and it just stuck straight up out of the ground like it was waiting for me to pick it up. And I did, but I walked a little bit down the path, and it was kind of windy, so I said to myself, maybe this feather came to me not to keep, but to give it back. And I made a wish, and I don't remember what my wish was to this day, but I made a wish and I released it back into the breeze as the wind took it away. I don't know what kind of bird feather it was. I wish I took a picture or had kept it. But it was magical almost, And I'll never forget that on this path as I'm walking. We don't really have bluebirds in Utah, so I'm not sure where that feather came from. But it was like metallic blue. It was really beautiful. I think I was meant to keep it, and I released it for some reason. I don't know. But I really wished I had kept it when I think about it. And I can often think about that feather, like, what does it mean? Now, on my other walks, I have also found peacock feathers in the park in Salt Lake City, and I know there's peacock birds in certain places. Looks like there's a birdhouse up here. And this one's starting to change colors a little. And I think the peacocks roam through that area every now and then, and that's how I ended up finding their feathers there. I'm sure they shed like all animals shed. I mean, I don't know too much about birds. And another time I was walking in a big park out in Ogden. It's just this open pasture I was in. And I stumbled upon a beautiful feather. I think it's a hawk feather, and I keep it with me. It's traveled with me everywhere. I take it everywhere on my trips in the car. And I just had a strange feeling that the feather was meant for me to keep on that one. So I've kept it. This is an interesting little tree. It's called the burgundy lace Japanese maple tree. That's what this tree is. Burgundy lace Japanese maple tree. Wow, that is pretty. Very pretty. Love the color. Oh, I was talking about how when I was a little kid I loved autumn. And I went off on a totally different subject. Anyway, I loved walking on crunchy leaves during the fall time when I was a little kid. I remember walking around school from one building to another sometimes, and I would love walking on the crunchy leaves. This tree looks like it has skin. Look at that. It's called the lace bark pine. Look at the pine. Look at the bark. It's sticking out like like feathers and wings. See, that's the tree bark. How neat is that? This tree looks like a tree I had a dream about. I have the craziest, weirdest dreams, guys. My entire life I've had crazy, weird dreams. So in one of my dreams I dreamt that the tree was growing feathers and pine cones together, and they were whitish. And I grew the tree, I planted it, and it grew like overnight. Oops. Sorry, tree. Didn't mean to pluck a piece of your bark, but I'm just admiring your beauty and uniqueness. And wow, so beautiful. Oh, and this one has some gummy coming off of it, or sap. So beautiful. The lace bark pine is what it's called. And it looks like the pine cones fell off from it. See that? There's a huge bird's nest up there. Here's all the pine cones. Let me see if I can zoom in. It is, I don't know if you can see it. There, you guys can't really see it, but I can. It's like, it's a huge bird nest way up on top. But that was an awesome dream about this unique tree I saw in my dream. That's what the tree reminded me of. So this one has berries as well. This is called the Russian hawthorn tree. Now you might be thinking, how does she know all these trees? Well, the names are underneath. It's beautiful. It's like Christmas, like holly berries. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now I usually pluck a few berries and acorns and pine cones and put it in a bowl or basket at home. So I'm not going to do that right now, but I may come back and take a few to do that. And look at this tree. This one's big and tall. Let's go find out the name. Every tree here has a nameplate. Bloodgood London Plane Tree. That's the name of this. But I wonder why it's called Bloodgood. Let me go back. The normal setting here. I don't know why it's still zoomed in. So we came from there. Wow, it's beautiful, and we're not even done yet. We still got a ways to go here. But as a child, I just loved walking on fall leaves. And I always went outside to rake the leaves outside the house. And I just loved Halloween. I loved the Halloween parties we had at our schools. I really enjoy apple bopping. Did you guys ever do that? Apple bopping was so fun to me, and I love apples. I love fruit. It's where you stick your head in a tub of water with floating apples in it, and you bite into it and you get it. Your face gets a little wet, but that's okay. As a kid, you enjoy doing stuff like that. So I didn't mind. Now this tree has a lot of nuts underneath it. Check this out. I'll keep one and see what it looks like inside, but they're all over underneath the tree. And this tree is called the American filbert. Now with all the nuts down here, I would think the squirrels would be here picking these up and storing them for their winter food storage. Here's another beauty. This one is called the what? Satellite Bosnian tree. Satellite Bosnian pine tree. It's as if we're walking at twilight, you know? That's when the crickets come out, right after sunset. Here is the Cascade Falls bald cypress. You can go underneath there. The dawn redwood. That's what this is. Dawn redwood. When I was a little kid, I used to like going inside of trees like this one. Like I see an opening, like right here, and I'll run in there and I'll stand in there. It's funny, you don't do a lot of those things when you are an adult. I mean, once in a while I do them, but this one has a lot of see how they cut all the stems of the tree? It's all over poking out. But my memories of Halloween are really fun in autumn time. I mean, autumn going into Halloween. Me and my sisters, my brothers, we all go trick-or-treating. That's if we're home. If we're in boarding school, which is majority of where we were at most of our lives as little kids, we went to the Halloween parties and activities that happened out there at the schools. This is called a white fir tree. And I like these trees because it looks like they all have, looks like there's a lot of eyes on them. See these? That's why I like them so much when I see trees like this. I love trees. I love how beautiful and simple they are, and how they just exist. This one has some sap. See? Sticky stuff here. There's a tree I want to show you back here. And it hasn't changed colors yet. but I'll point them out. This tree and that tree and this tree here, they will turn to the most beautiful blazing autumn colors when their time comes. And it's absolutely magical to walk in here and sit at that bench and just look at them and bask in all their autumn color and magic. It's so beautiful. And that's why I enjoy coming back here during the fall, when all this will be red and gold. And usually I'll sit here, and sometimes I'll bring a book, some coffee, and usually no one even comes by here. And I can just sit here and enjoy the autumn glory. And I'm sad that I might miss out this year seeing this, because I probably won't be here to see them turn that color. I don't have any previous videos to show you of that time. If I find one somewhere, I'll post it, but I do have pictures I took out here with all their autumn color blooming. But I do remember my very first Halloween costume. I was, believe it or not, Frankenstein. You remember those Halloween costumes that came in a box back in the 70s that you can buy from Yellowfront, Walgreens, Safeway, those type of stores? My mom used to go out and buy box for each kid. So there were 5 of us. I don't think she bought them for the teenagers, for like my older siblings. But for me and my sister, yeah, we got the box costume. And it was just whatever she found, I believe. So my very first Halloween costume I remember was Frankenstein. And I remember wearing it, and all the kids were pointing at me saying, "Frankenstein, Frankenstein." And I was a little embarrassed, but I just kept walking, you know, because I wanted to get my candy. Me and my sister would go trick-or-treating. It was fun. And when I think about it, I think I must have looked really crazy, just this little kid walking around like Frankenstein. And I wish my mom had a camera back then and had taking pictures of us. I'd love to see myself wearing that costume. I don't think she really took pictures. The only time I remember we had our pictures taken was when we went into JCPenney or Sears for a family portrait, something like that. That was the only time I remember. And other than that, it was pretty random that my family took pictures. But we do have some pictures of us as kids. So, yeah, it's pretty neat to keep memories, you know, especially from way back then. I think it's so interesting to see really old photos today when I go into museums and I see all these pictures from the 1500s, 1700s, like a long time ago, and I just like mesmerized by the way people look, the way they appear in the picture, their clothes. I mean, I take in every little detail when I look at pictures. I even look at the jewelry that people wear, and I'm the same way when I watch movies. It's so funny. I like to see what accessories the people are wearing in movies. I really look for little details. I guess I'm very detail oriented. I've been told by that by one of my employers at one time. And that helps in some areas of work, especially if you're doing medical billing, which is what I was doing way back then. I don't do that no more, but I was doing medical billing for a workers' comp insurance company out in Draper, and they were called what was the name of the company? Oh my gosh, started with a C. Cardon. I think they were called Cardon, and they no longer have that name because I actually called over there one day. But anyway, I was something like a claims adjuster, so my job was to read medical records and pinpoint the main body injury. and process those claims for 5 different New York hospitals. And I really like that job. I don't even know why I left it. I've done a lot of jobs where I totally loved the job and I left them. And I think a lot of it is due to my ADHD. I was never diagnosed, but I know I have it. That's why I lose interest real easy in certain things, and I tend to put my attention like all over the place, like I'm scatterbrained, you know. So I did really well at that job, and I remember my boss telling me I was her golden child. She said I'm her golden child for that position, and she would brag about me to other people at my job that I was the golden child in her department, because I was very fast at finding the body parts that were injured and processing those claims for payment for people who were injured at work. And I just was really good at it because I knew how to read medical records really quick and pinpoint the body injury within like 5 seconds. Like I can read a medical report and I'll know by just reading it what's the main body part that was injured. Crazy, huh? So I have that skill, and I remember when she first hired me, she told me she was backlogged with 500 claims that were not paid because there was no one there to do the job. She hired me. She asked me to help her with that, and I had no experience when I got hired, and I did it. I did it within probably 2 weeks. I processed all those claims, and the more I did, the more claims came in to be processed. So I kept doing them because I was working for, like I said, I think it was 2, I don't really remember. Oh my gosh, it was several hospitals in New York City that I had to do this work for. And I love reading, so the job was perfect for me. I've always loved reading ever since I was a child, and that's where I learned to really like ASMR. I mean, I love ASMR because when I used to go in the library, we had story time for children, and the librarian would set the mood in the library, maybe dim the lights, and have us all sound the floor. And she'd read the book in an animated voice to us about the stories. And just the soft sounds of doors opening and closing, soft footsteps, soft whispers in the library, the hushness all around, and the reading of the words. And my imagination, because I have a wild imagination, I'd be immersed in the story and mesmerized. And my body would tingle, back of my neck, my legs, my hands, I would be tingling, and I didn't know the experience I'm having was considered ASMR. It's a sensory, I can't remember what ASMR means, but it's a sensory type reception to your body. Let you receive that sensory in such a unique way. You feel tingles, you feel relaxed and calm, like almost in bliss. So I will end here, and then I'll start a new video on the scarecrows, which is on the other side of this path. There is a scarecrow festival going on, and there'll be a lot of people here in the evening. So now's a good time to get through them. So thanks for listening to me rambling on today. Hope I wasn't boring you. And enjoy your weekend and Friday. Stay positive and stay blessed. See you later, friends.